Small-sized pocket and action cameras are all the rage these days, and many manufacturers have jumped on board with their offerings. The cream of the crop GoPro Hero is still up there and used by professionals in a wide variety of situations and broadcasts. But also up there is the price, not the cheapest of gadgets. For those after compact full HD video recorders looking for capture up to 1080p only, here we have a cheap alternative. Welcome to Innovv's Tech Corner, where today we'll be looking at the Innovv C1. Branded as the world's most stylish action camera by Innovv themselves and available in a range of colours, the C1 allows full 1080p HD recording. With a built-in flashlight, along with automatic orientation system and built-in G-force sensor, the unit packs in a fair punch in a small frame. And small it is, even the box is tiny. Innovv claim it's fashionable enough to be worn around your neck, while being versatile enough to mount to different objects or helmets as an action camera. But how does it perform? Let's take a closer look. Within the small package, users receive a neck strap, a USB cable, a video out cable, the actual camera itself protected in foam wrapping, and finally a small quick start guide. I have an optional accessory pack in addition which contains everything we need to use the camera as a dash cam, a nice long USB cable to route around your vehicle windscreen, a USB power connector for your vehicle, and a compact suction cup for securing the camera to the windscreen. A rather comprehensive package with the dashcam kit in addition. The camera itself comes pre-installed on a plastic mount, which users will probably use in most mounting scenarios. The camera is held in nice and firm with absolutely no vibration, but is easily removed by pulling it away from the mount. Beneath the mount we have a standard tripod thread attachment, which can be popped out should you want a more compact design. Weighing in at only 44 grams, the camera itself is surrounded by an aluminum construction, keeping that weight low while keeping strength high and at the same time helping with heat dissipation, since as we can see the unit has no air vents or holes for heat to escape. On the top of the device, other than some Innovv branding, we have a small status LED, along with the shutter, mode and power buttons. Slightly raised, they give the user some tactile feedback when pressed. On the rear we have a port to attach the included USB cable for charging, data transfer and firmware updates, a slot for a micro SD memory card up to 32GB, and a small reset pinhole. The one switch on the entire device lets the user easily switch between continuous recording or loop recording for dashcam use, as well as switching on the front LED. The front LED is a nice bright natural white colour and is situated alongside the lens itself, with a small microphone hole. The CMOS digital image sensor lens is capable of taking 3 megapixel images or recording video of 720p at 60 frames per second or full 1080p at 30 frames per second. We'll put that to the test shortly. As for the rest of the unit, it's otherwise quite plain with no other features or functions, a pretty slick design sporting a nice overall finish. Before using the unit, users will need to charge the 600 mAh LiPo internal battery by connecting the included USB cable to the camera, and the other end to a USB port on your computer or a USB adapter. The camera LED lights orange to indicate it's charging, and the light will extinguish once fully charged. At full capacity you can expect around 100 minutes of recording time at 720p and around 80 minutes at 1080p, which is pretty generous considering its size. Setting up the unit is another simple affair. To start, insert a Class 10 micro SD memory card. A configuration utility can be downloaded from the Innovv website, allowing users to set a whole host of recording options to really customize how you would like the camera to perform. As a dashcam, for example, you may wish to alter the video clip length, adjust the G-force setting and so on, right down to choosing whether you wish to set one button record, display the date and time, and much more. Once set, with your camera attached via the USB connection, simply save the configuration file to the camera. The next time the camera is switched on, the chosen settings will be applied and saved into a built-in 64MB memory bank. Cycling through and changing modes on the camera itself is performed by using the 3 main buttons. Keeping the power button pressed for 3 seconds will switch the camera on and it automatically starts recording, although as we saw earlier the one button auto record mode can be disabled via the configuration utility. Once on, the mode button allows cycling between the different modes, namely 1080p recording, 720p recording, image mode and parking mode. Parking mode being where the unit will record when it detects an impact or sudden movement. The status LED will rotate between red, green and orange for recording and photo modes, and flash when it's in parking mode. Once set, the top shutter button will start or stop video or image capture. Note that the unit will auto-rotate the video depending on the camera orientation, so whether it's mounted upside down as a dash cam or on an RC vehicle the right way up, the video will always be the right way up upon playback. As we can see in this example, the recording does pause for a second before it resumes recording the correct side up. One less process to complete in your editor, and a very handy feature. Recording at 1080p 30 frames per second and at a bitrate of 15 megabits per second, the image is surprisingly good. Color balance is good, as is the sharpness of the image overall. I was left pleasantly surprised with the output quality that this little camera is capable of. Since we have no built-in viewfinder and no way to actually preview footage to ensure the camera is lined up correctly, unless you use the included video out cable with an external monitor, with the general field of view, users can generally point the camera in the correct direction and be sure to capture what they need. Users also have the ability to have the date and time stamped onto the actual video itself, or remove this via the configuration tool we saw earlier. The recording itself is saved as an industry standard MOV H.264 file format in the standard widescreen 16:9 aspect ratio. Looking at some low light footage, any camera with a small lens will struggle under such conditions. Lenses generally need plenty of light in order to capture crisp, sharp footage. The Innovv C1 is no different, although I was actually expecting a lot worse. Nighttime recording is rather good for a camera of this level. Even with some image noise, you can still make out the detail, and I was personally left rather impressed, although street and vehicle lights certainly do help. As with most other action cameras, audio quality isn't brilliant, but surprisingly good for a unit of this size, certain enough to make out most sounds. If you hadn't guessed already, the audio you're hearing at the moment is being captured through the Innovv C1 camera itself, so good enough to capture a variety of different sounds at various tones, but with some background noise depending on your surroundings. It will certainly need some further work in your editor. Available in black, blue, gold and silver, the Innovv C1 is a good all-round performer, incorporating a range of features, some of which I've not had time to cover here, such as the parking mode using the built-in G-force sensor, and even a webcam feature for example. Users really do receive a variety of options in a small overall package. As for the camera itself, the aluminum build quality is great. The mounting options, even the included mounting plate itself, are also great. A high level of quality maintained throughout with the great versatility that comes from such a small and light design, while maintaining that added overall strength. Although questionable in terms of audio quality, which isn't the main strong point for any action camera of this size, I was left pleasantly surprised with the quality of the standard MOV format video. I was expecting a lot worse, but the video is surprisingly sharp with a good color balance throughout. Even recording in the dark, with the help of some lighting at least, it's actually pretty good. Used as a dash cam, on your RC toys, or even on yourself while getting that next adrenaline fix, at a very low price point, typically around the 60 UK pounds mark, this unit is a steal and comes highly recommended.